Hey guys, it's a lovely evening and I'm having so much fun here with Peter. Peter, thank you very much for this time.
It's great to be here. It's such a beautiful place.
I agree. I truly agree. And really, this is really, I'm joyful talking to you, really. I love this, you know. We could stay here for hours, you know. So you were telling me right now you had 4 different jobs? I mean, a full-time job and 3 part-time jobs, or what is it?
I just keep busy. I do work for the National Public Radio affiliate in Western New England Public Radio, and I'm one of the voices for the jazz programming on that station. And I also play the trumpet professionally, and I've played in orchestras and I've played in churches, but mostly I play jazz these days.
You said professionally. You just told me I haven't practiced, but you're a professional. You're a pro. You don't need to practice.
A professional usually means you practice all the time.
There you go. There you go.
So it's a lot of fun, and it's something that I learned a long time ago that takes me away from the other parts of my life, so that I always carry my trumpet with me whenever I travel. So I can practice at night, and it's a great break. It's a great way to change your mindset.
Well, you just told me that your trumpet is back at the hotel.
It's in the hotel, yeah.
I think that would be another definition of a pro, you know, like you travel and you bring your trumpet with you.
Carry it everywhere, yeah.
All right, amazing. And you said something about running.
I love running. The best thing about running is you can do it anywhere. So no matter where I am, I go for a run and I learn about the city, or I learn about the town that I'm visiting. Sometimes I get lost, and I try not to get lost. But it's something that I love doing, as long as it's not too cold.
Well, we're talking about Runner's World magazine, and you remember they have a map of different city.
Yes, that's
every
right.
issue. You know, like you go to Boston, you should. This is the track, the right track, the historical track.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good idea, and most good hotels have the same thing. And so I always ask, and they'll actually sometimes give you a little map, and I put it in my pocket and I go.
Most hotels in America, of course.
Yes.
You didn't get one here.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
I think so.
But I went swimming in the pool, which is nice too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then that must be a pretty nice hotel.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's good. Now, you work for Merriam-Webster.
Yes.
What do you do there?
Well, I'm editor-at-large at Merriam-Webster. Editors at Merriam-Webster write dictionary definitions, and that's a neat job. It requires a lot of research, and it requires a lot of patience, and also a kind of sense of appropriateness of language. And so that is a quiet kind of job. Another part of my job is to travel and to speak to educators and to librarians and to other business professionals in publishing about dictionaries, about how we write the dictionary, and sometimes about the history of where we came from. That is to say, the Merriam-Webster Company has a long history. Noah Webster wrote the Great American Dictionary, and in fact he changed the spelling of American English, which is why we spell words differently from the British tradition.
Some of them were not adopted, though.
And some of them were, many of his ideas were crazy ideas. And many of his ideas, of course, became what we now call American English. And then the Merriam brothers were the printers. So they were the businessmen, and many people don't know that's the relationship between Merriam and Webster.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just 2 companies that merged.
No, Webster was the author, and the Merriams were the printers.
Wow.
And they were very good businessmen, and so they have remained in business to this day. So it's a neat history, neat tradition.
Oh my gosh! Well, I need to tell you this is a milestone for me because I've always thought about. I love dictionaries, so I've always thought about who does this work. You know, like selecting the words and then the right definition. Because does it drive you crazy sometimes when you can't find the right words?
It's a lot of hard work, and it's equivalent to taking a test. You know, you think of the mental energy that goes into taking a test, that's what it's like to write definitions all day. And that's why we have a quiet office. Because if you have too many distractions during a test, it's bad for your performance. It's bad for your result. So we have an office that's like a library. It's very, very quiet. And we can speak to each other. It's relaxed. But for the most part, we respect that quiet because right next door, everybody's working and everybody's writing. And so when I have to give an interview on the telephone or have a meeting, I go to a different room. Yeah, I go to a different place.
That's so interesting. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Not at all.
Oh my gosh. And you're originally from?
I'm originally from Massachusetts. I'm a proud son of Massachusetts. I'm from the coast north of Boston, the North Shore of Massachusetts, very near the ocean.
So you have to be very proud right now for Red Sox.
Oh, we sure are. Yes, absolutely. Red Sox Nation won the World Series. I just saw that the mayor was just elected in Boston. Now, this is also a big deal because we've had the same mayor in Boston for 20 years. And so he's retiring, he's stepping down, and there was an election just this week, but I just found out that David Ortiz of the Red Sox came in third for the for the mayor of Boston, and that shows you how popular he is in Boston, and he should be.
He has to be, yes, of course. Have you ever had any seafood in Mexico? Because you were telling me in that part of the the area where you were born, you had some seafood.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, Cape Cod in Massachusetts is named for the fish, cod, because there were so many fish in that part of the world. I had fish for lunch today, right here at the conference.
Did you know that cod is very popular in Mexico City for Christmas?
Oh, that's the traditional Christmas meal? Oh,
yeah.
It's traditional in most Catholic cultures to have fish at Christmas time.
All right.
And that makes sense to me.
Okay, didn't know that.
Sure.
So I have a question. Sorry to go back. But would your friends sometimes call you and say, "Hey, what does this mean? This word, or how do you say that?" Do they bother you with that?
I do get questions from time to time. Yes,
Really?
It goes along with the job. I mean, I have to tell people though that I work for a reference publisher. I am not a work of reference, so that I don't carry the dictionary in my mind, but I usually know how to get the answer very quickly.
Of course, yes.
And a big part of that is knowing how the process works. How does a word get into the dictionary? How does it stay in the dictionary? Sometimes how does a word become removed from the dictionary? If I know those rules very, very well, then it's easy for me to predict how the word is defined, whether it will be found in the dictionary, that kind of thing.
Now, I know Jane's answer, but in your case, do you like it printed or digital?
Oh, I use the dictionary 3 different ways. I use it as a book at home. I use it online as a computer at the office, and whenever I'm out of the office, I use it on my smartphone. So I have 3 different ways, and I'm absolutely positive that dictionaries are being used more today than ever before because of that very accessibility. So I have this ability to use it, the same information, in 3 different forms. That's wonderful.
Now, there's this polemic question in a way, because a lot of people today just go online and they go to search engines and they type the word, they search for the word.
Sure.
What would be the difference between having Merriam-Webster's source and any other source, even on the internet?
Well, hopefully a lot of those searches will lead you to Merriam-Webster, because I've found that if you for example, Google a word for definition, very often the very first or the second result is the Merriam-Webster definition. You click on that and you get to the dictionary. We're proud of our tradition of writing dictionaries by hand, kind of the old-fashioned way, with all of the research and those citations that we take, and we take such care in doing that. And what's interesting is the online version is run by people who are in the very same office. So they're just 20 feet from me, from my desk, are the people who put my work online. And so it's all in one place, and it's all centralized, and it's all connected, so that the print and the online and the research are all connected in that way. And so, you know, we're proud of that tradition. We like to hear that people use Merriam-Webster's dictionary online or in print or anyway.
I just remember something very important that I have to ask you. I have to take advantage of you being here. Spelling bee.
Oh, right, the spelling bee, which is why I'm in Mexico.
All right.
I love spelling bees. Spelling bees are an American tradition, and it's because English is so peculiarly difficult to spell. It's a mongrel language. It's not like Spanish, which really has one parent, Latin. And so you know the origin of most of the words. In the case of English, you have all different languages at its roots. It's a mongrel language. You have the Celtic languages, you have the Anglo-Saxon language, you have the Latin of the Romans, then you have the Vikings languages, and then you have the Latin or the Old French from the Norman Conquest. All of these layers. And so that makes for a very difficult language to spell, because you had the different traditions of the different languages. And of course, it's difficult to pronounce as well. So in America, the tradition of the spelling bee is a national pastime, like baseball. The National Spelling Bee in May is watched by millions of people on television, and 11 million children in America participate in the National Spelling Bee. They start in their schools, and if you win in the school, you go to the district, and if you win the district, you go to the state, and then you move up to the nationals. And so I serve as the pronouncer for a lot of spelling bees, and you need someone who knows how to speak the words clearly. and consistently and calmly, and that's something that I do all over the world. And so I did a workshop here at Mextesol on how to run an English spelling bee in the classroom, or maybe for the whole school, or maybe for the whole country. We don't know. Maybe we'll have a spelling bee in Mexico.
Oh, Peter, thank you very much. You're not just a dictionary, you're an encyclopedia. Thank you very much. Now, have you been in Mexico before, or
Yes.
for Mextesol?
This is my first Mextesol. I love this conference. It's so energetic, and there's so many people who come to all the sessions. It's marvelous. I had visited before. I had a wonderful vacation on the Pacific coast, in Jalisco and in Guadalajara, and I had a wonderful time. And I loved that time, and I love being here now.
Well, thank you very much. I truly appreciate your time.
It's a treat. Thank you.
Thank you very much.